Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to give a couple quick updates from the field. I look very blue today. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me change this up a little bit. A little bit, yeah, it's a little bit nicer. But anyway, we got some storms moving in tonight, so I'm gonna be taking refuge out of the forest so I don't get hit with a tree. But also from the other day when we did the audio analysis update, we actually got the audio analysis video. We actually got an interesting update, possibly coming very soon. I sent the original file over to Scribe Becca, and we're probably going to be looking into that a little bit deeper. We looked at the spectrogram data for the Ohio hells, and there's some interesting, very interesting kind of similarities between the two that we're going to look at. Hey, what's going on, Mickey Richards? We're just doing a little quick update, a little chit chat here. Crypto Castleberry, yo. Where's my logo? Shouldn't my logo be up? Is it not? What's a solo layout? Whatever. I'm still figuring this stuff out. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be a hot one today. We're reaching the 90s. As you can see, I'm a little bit moist. We got Duke Tucker. What's up, MK? What's going on, Duke Tucker? Yeah, we're hitting like 88 today. Then we have thunderstorms coming in. And then I think tomorrow is one of those crazy North Carolina days where it's going to be like 40. And it's going to be like freezing at night. So, we'll be fighting off everything. I just went up on top of the bus and cleaned off all the pollen on the solar panels. And this is right now is like my prime time to be able to stream because the solar panels are actually providing enough power plus some to run the Starlink and everything else. So on, Rick Skinner, you're on your lunch break, man. Glad I could pop in real quick. I know it's kind of a random hour, but I figured I'd just put something up real fast. Mr. Booberry, what's going on? Gotta love spring. Gotta love the springs in North Carolina. I'm telling you what. And they're just clouds of pollen just blowing through the air. I mean, the bus. Are we back? Okay. My thing starts doing a little thing. 86 in upstate SC. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of what we're hitting. I think we're about 88 here is what they were suggesting. And then we got some, they're warning about some good thunderstorms. So I'm going to be getting out of here and I'm going to be taking refuge somewhere in a little bit more open area so I don't get hit with a tree or anything. Now my red car is yellow. I've got Mickey Richards, me to Rick. What's going on? And we're going to be doing, but like I said earlier, since people are showing up now, I'll say it again. We were, after the other night's audio analysis, we had kind of determined it was coyote sounds, but I sent the original file. I got it sent this morning over to Scribe Becca, so whenever she gets everything together, she'll probably take a look at it. But we compared very quickly. We just did a base comparison of the Ohio hells and then what I had recorded. And there's actually some shocking similarities. It's actually, it's going to be very interesting, I think. So, not saying it's a Bigfoot or anything, but it's something to look at. And because I don't know, something about those recordings were a little bit off from what a coyote would usually be. And maybe we're right. It was 90 degrees here yesterday. You even set a record. This year's feels like every day setting some sort of record, whether it's the lowest or the highest of the year. It just seems like every day. I don't want to, but yeah, so I'm probably going to be, I just want to do something real quick while I got good power. And then at some point I'm going to have to bust on this AC more likely. And Tuna's up here finding the most warm spot to go hang out at. Want to say hi, Mr. Tuna? Nah, Tuna don't want to say hi. Tuna's tired. I did upgrade the StreamYard, so it doesn't have that StreamYard logo, which was really my only issue with it. Other than that, I think I would have been fine with it. I'm probably going to play around with it. I'll probably get some intro videos set up and all that tonight. The nice thing about taking refuge is where I'm going to go is that I can just start the bus and have unlimited power. Like I said, I'll say this again, say it always. The bus engine charges up the batteries in here 4 times faster than the generator, which I had to cut on very early this morning. I used up, went a little long on the audio analysis stream, so I ate up a lot of power. So I ended up having to cut it on at like 4:30 a.m., 4 a.m. I got my refrigerator goes beep, and I look over there and it's got error one, which means low voltage warning. So I had to cut it on, which was all right. I made a cup of coffee while the generator was blaring. I don't think there was one person like 2 campsites down, but I don't think it disturbed them. It is a super quiet generator. It's fairly quiet. But yeah, so tonight I'm probably going to do a live stream. I'm like shaking all around here. Well, it is like a flimsy. You're like, we're in a bus, guys. We're in a bus, guys. It's a little flimsy. It's a little flimsy. I may do a, if we can even see the storm. It might be pitch black out there, but I'm thinking I like the storm streams. I kind of like doing that. That's pretty fun. And this thing is kind of inspired in many ways by the barn burner, Dusty's school bus and Twister. How's everyone doing today? Before I take off here, I wanted to say hi to everybody, and I really want to thank everybody. I'm like shocked at the amount of support I've been getting, and just like I sit there, I wake up, and it's like I look at my analytics on YouTube, and it's just like upwards and forwards, and that just I couldn't have asked for anything better. I got no complaints as far as that goes. You know what I mean? Like it's been really wonderful. Tammy Hardcastle, what's going on? Hi, good afternoon. I guess we just passed the afternoon part. Yeah, I got this kind of set up just in time. Like I said, I'm getting enough power now where I can run everything off solar, and the sun's kind of directly above me. Now it's just going to get hot. It's going to get real hot in here. I'm actually supposed to be meeting somebody. This is pretty funny. Do you remember a couple live streams ago, if you were in there, I talked about how I was kind of freaked out because someone was in a trail club asking like where I was, but the way they were wording it, it was exactly how I like was being kind of secretive about where I was. They like well, that person got up with me. They're fine. They're not a weirdo. Everything's cool. And they're just into Bigfoot. And they just watched the stream. They didn't really think about like me still being there or anything like that. And then they watched the stream where I was kind of like talking about how I was freaked out about the whole thing. And but they reached out to me. They're perfectly cool. They actually watched the stream from yesterday, and they're going to bring me some dip, allegedly. I hope they do, because I got all these chips and I ain't got no dip. But he's supposed to be out here sometime between like noon and 2 or something like that. So I'm waiting on him to show up. That'd be nice to meet him. I think he's just like friends, and it's odd that like I know I'm friends with like a ton of other Bigfoot researchers and all this on Facebook. So I was just like, oh, that's odd. Like he's not friends with anybody, but I kind of understand it though too. So I'll be meeting him. That should be pretty cool. And then after that, I'm going to take off and do the take refuge for the storm. I'll probably do. I almost certainly will do a stream tonight. So be ready for a stream. Mr. Bieber says there's somebody that who's into Bigfoot isn't a weirdo. Well, I guess I don't know if he's not a weirdo or not. But he at least I was happy that he reached out to me. It was just like, hey, sorry, I freaked you out a little bit. And I guess he showed up there and he was scared to like, or not scared, but like he was just kind of like didn't want to like weird me out. So he didn't say hi, but he saw me. I know exactly where he saw me too, because he said he saw me walk out of the bus and smoke a cigarette, because that was one of the days where, well, every day is kind of like this. I was just like pulling my imaginary hair out, learning how to edit and everything. So I know exactly what he's talking about. I stepped out of the bus and I looked probably miserable. I was just like, I was like Ben Affleck meme is what I was doing, basically. Did you get any audio from the recorder set up the other night? We did an analysis, and on where I heard something, and I did that little short stream where I came out right when I was going to bed. I heard something. Stream, which I'm I gotta wait. Oh, but we kind of determined it was most likely a coyote. But then overnight, I sent the file to Scribe Becca this morning, so she's going to take a better look at it. And what kind of surprised us, it was later on at night. She had already looked at the spectrogram for the Ohio hell, and we looked at it, and I looked at what I had, and it's shockingly similar. It's in the same hertz range. Even the just how it looks is very similar. So that might not have been a coyote. We're going to do an update on that. So that's interesting. That's really interesting if that's the case. Rick Skinner said, when is the next MK and Scribe show? Then the Money Maker BFO debunked report. I was thinking I want to do more. If Scribe's down, I'll do it weekly. I had a blast last night or whatever it was. Was it last night? I have no concept of time out here. But yeah, if it was I think yeah, it had to have been yesterday. And I had a blast doing that. And I think there is something like doing reports, maybe reading BFRO reports, even like debunked ones, might be kind of interesting. And I think a lot of the debunked ones probably needs another look at it. Because honestly, that helicopter crash thing, I'm glad Joe brought it up. That is suspicious to kind of brush it off that easily from one person when like the other account was so detailed down to names, everything going on. And I'm from the mindset too. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Mirage Men. Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's very, if you haven't, you should see it because it's a fascinating look at what the government can do to kind of do psyops against certain things. And in Mirage Men, it's about I forget what it was, like Captain Dooley or Captain, what was his name? Colonel Dooley. But basically, there was a UFO researcher that lived near a military base, and he was capturing a lot of strange lights. And the military put one of their men to kind of talk to him and started feeding him false information about, yeah, it is UFOs. Yeah, I'll show you pictures of a crash site. And he was showing them pictures of like just aerial photography of really nothing. But, you say, hey, there's a crash site right here. And this guy was just believing it. And unfortunately, that guy ended up kind of getting so lost in the delusion that he was being fed that he ended up unaliving himself. So it's not unlike the government to put out and just bang. Why am I not clicking? Am I freezing? Yeah, Scribe saved the day yesterday. That boy, it upped the game a lot, and I learned a lot too yesterday, and I'll continue to learn. What's this one? I wonder if AI audio separation stuff would help with it. Yeah, you know what? With the AI stuff, it's weird what I kind of trust it with. Like, I just recently used it to make faces, some base thumbnails I could use off of real pictures I took. So like the Uari sign one, I just said like I prompted it like make it kind of spooky, dark, no, make the forest a little bit scarier, and like it does a good job of it. Like that's where it's like I don't know how much to trust it when it's analyzing things. Because like recently, before all this Patty stuff came out, there was all this stuff about like AI proves that it's real AI, but it really is up to the person prompting it. That's why so many people you read. Oh, it seems like every month you're reading some story about someone who fell in love with the AI system, and then the AI told them to off themselves, and they do it. So it's like I don't know how far to trust AI with analysis, because like with the Bigfoot stuff, when it's like, oh, AI proves that Patty's real, like did it or did you just ask it to prove that it's real? You know what I mean? Like it's weird with, especially with consumer AI, how much is it service you want and how much is actually just being truthful with you. In fact, like I was doing something on the I'm coming back. What was that wagon train? The Donner Party. I was doing a kind of a report on the Donner Party, and so I asked it, "Can you just give me a rundown on the?" This was like 2 years ago. I asked it, "Can you just give me a rundown on like what happened during the Donner Party? How many people were involved? What was the wagon train?" And it spit out all this information. It was like, "Oh, they had 60 oxen, they had 40 horses, there was so many people, all this stuff that like, okay, it sounds factual. And if I is truly going through the information that's out there, it should be accurate. Like it should be no different than me spending a day in the library compiling information." And when I didn't even double check it. I just trusted it. And then when I went to go talk to the guy who actually used to live in the Donner Party incident took place, and it was for a ghost kind of podcast. We were talking about paranormal. It was all wrong. Every bit of it was wrong. That dude like schooled me because of it. So I was like, I don't know. I don't ever trust AI with I guess analysis, because like it could just be wrong, and and again you can't blame it because it's not a thing, you know. But yeah, it's always interesting. I don't know. I'd have to see it, I guess, tested and proven that like okay, it is actually accurate when you're trying to compare audio, sounds, and all that. Check on chat. But that it's not right to give people false information. It's not right to mess with people's minds. That's why Yeah, that's why the AI stuff is such a topic. And then you might have been commenting on the Mirage Men thing. Yeah, that wasn't right. And what's crazy is that you have then that Dooley guy came out and was like, "Oh no, some of that stuff's true." And he's like, I think he still goes to like you was paid to go around and then tell stories. And like, that dude from Blyer, and but he's telling people what they want to hear. And my buddy, where you guys go? This guy's a wild child. Let me send you a link. He does a show very often. He's been doing it for years and years and years. Let me bring it up real fast. I like promoting him because he had a UFO. I'm not subscribed to him either. Am I getting like? That's weird how you unsubscribe. I know I was subscribed to this guy. I know I was. Let me share his channel real fast because he's someone to really kind of watch because he's a share channel, copy. I'm gonna throw this in chat and everyone give him a subscribe. I'm telling him MK Ultra sent him. He's gonna be like, really? I'm a skeptic, but hey, we gotta listen to these people. He really likes Bigfoot. He doesn't believe in Bigfoot, but he has a like a love of Bigfoot, and he like lives in a cabin in the woods that he built. He also lives in like a normal house with a family, but he built by hand a cabin up in the middle of very rural Pennsylvania. His name's Steve Cambion, Truth Seekers. He mostly focuses on UFO stuff. What's going on, Scott? Good to see you. Good to see you. Michelle's with it. Tell her I said hi. What's going on, Okie? If I didn't say hi, Scorpius. But that Doolittle stuff, it's just like but Steve, I think it was Steve. I think he confronted. No, he didn't confront it. Someone was interviewing Linda Moulton Howe, who like was really big into most of you guys probably know who she is, but on the topic of cattle mutilation. And this interviewer was friends with Steve. Steve's like a legit journalist. Like he's got press credentials. He writes for a Washington D.C. based newspaper, but I can't remember the name of it. But so he gave the guy a few questions to ask, and boy, oh, she not take it well. And it was not good. And I know he's got a clip up on his channel about it. But he's got probably one of the most. The first time I watched him, I was like, oh, he's got like the most annoying laugh in the world. I don't know if I can watch him. But then like you get past all that, and then you realize, oh no, this guy's like the best guy to have. Like he's perfect. He also like he's got a whole style to him. You remember when the Matrix came out and there were those people walking around dressed like Neo? Like he stuck to it. He did not back up. He looks like Neo from the Matrix. And but yeah, y'all definitely check him out, especially if you have an open mind and you want to kind of hear the other side of things. Because he was the one that completely turned me around that Bob Lazar stuff. And I was so sad. Just like Patty, man. I get sad when I hear like, oh, that's not real. But then when you get receipts laid out in front of you, you go, yeah, that's not real. You know, like it's not real. And who did I, when I was up there in the LBL, but surviving the strange we were talking about, and I was telling about Bob Lazar, how that story is completely just BS. He was in like $50,000 when he was allegedly working at S4. He was in $50,000 in debt. He was running an illegal brothel where he was filming people for blackmail, all kinds of wild stuff. He would never, ever have a security clearance at any place, let alone some S4 thing. And I always thought like, oh, one of the most convincing things was that hand scanner. Remember we talked about like the bone hand scanner, and he was like, oh, how would he know about that? It wasn't declassified till like I think the 90s or something like that. Not true. If you watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you see the exact same hand scanner in that movie. So it's a lot of stuff is just said, and a lot of stuff with the Bigfoot stuff too. When you hear these like in Dogman or whatever it is, so I can sit there and say like, oh, this is fact. You have to double check that. Like it may not be. Some people are just pulling stuff out of their butts. Let me go check up a chat, see if everyone hates me now because I ruined Bob Lazar for everyone. Hey, we talked it over. Feel free to spread the word about the website. Oh, okay, yeah. If you want to, uh, it's the Val. You put it in my Discord. Let me bring up the Discord real fast. I need to get like a little entertaining, um, little break for the screen thing while I go look for stuff. Um, let me. I gotta bring up Discord real fast. Everyone, just hang in there for a second. I know it's in there. And I'll go ahead and share the link because I think it's a fabulous idea. What Scott's talking about is him and his wife are putting together this reporting website where you can. It's not just Bigfoot. It's everything. It's everything, which I think is a great idea. Like there's so much. I don't know. I'm not trying to do that. What am I doing? How do I just search for someone's stuff? I know it's in my Discord. I know it is. Include specific type of specific channel. How do I search this? Okay, let me scroll through my I'm looking for it, guys. Where is it? I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. I know it was posted in the Discord. Sorry, guys. I know but yeah, I do want to share it. It is a great website. Where is it? Come on, where is it? I can't just search that. Looking forward to. Oh wait, here we go. Maybe it was in the Hellbent Discord. That's a big one. That's going to take a second. No. Southeastern Vale Project. Okay, here we go. We're bringing it up, guys. We're bringing it up. I'm about to share it now. I think this is a great thing that they're doing. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Yeah, you sent it to me on text, but I'm on a laptop, so I'm not that technologically. I don't know how to get my text on a laptop here, but here we go. Everyone, check this out. It's going in the chat. The Southeastern Vale Project. And if you experience anything weird, put it in there. It doesn't have to just be Bigfoot. It can be anything at all. And because I'm for one kind of like, after all my experiences, I'm thinking there's a lot more going on with this whole phenomenon, and it's not everything is in a box. Like there's not a Bigfoot box, there's not a Dogman box, there's not a ghost box. There's something else going on here, and it is all connected from the mindset of John Keel, where the strange is strange intentionally. What's going on? About Smag 13, what's going on? Jeff Matlow, what's going on? It's a good channel. It's a great channel. I love Steve Campion. And again, people are really hard on him, but like he got into this because he had a legit UFO experience. Like he believed it, and then what got him so like put in a skeptical mindset. Send link to. I got it. It's in there now. What's going on, HBH Scribe? I was just telling them about the update. I sent that email to you this morning. You should have it with the original audio file so you can take a closer look at it. And I think we should definitely do an update on that. Or I can make a channel you can post links to. Yeah, that maybe isn't a bad idea. What would that be called? We're going with the whole like national park theme in my Discord. What would that be a good thing called? Hey, Dark Florida's here. What's going on, Brooke? What's going on? Happy Friday. That's awesome that Jeff Matlow, that you know of Truth Seekers and Steve Campion. He had one of the funniest things that was posted, and he had to take it down for some legal purposes, but it's gone back up now because it's not like, it was cleared by lawyers and all that he could post it. But he had the do you guys know anything about the secret space program and like the 20 and back thing? Can we talk about the 20 and back for a second? This is getting like real out in the weeds here, but so there's a guy named Corey Good, and he was making big money on the UFO convention, tours, talking about how he was he was taken as it was one of those super soldier stories where this guy who was taken and then they do these space missions, but there's time travel involved. So like they could take you at 18, use you for like 20 years, and then bring you back at the age, and then you just have to live with all the trauma and all this. Anyway, very far-fetched. Not true either. And there was a lawsuit that was against him, and he went into a deposition, and there was a 6-hour deposition of him. And Steve did like nightly panels watching each like hour of the deposition over the course of like a week. And it was the funniest thing in the world. Like, and my favorite thing, it's a very slow burn, but if you're into comedy, it's a slow burn. It's one of the funniest things in the world. But like at the beginning of the deposition, like the other, the plaintiffs, or I forget who was the plaintiff or the defendant. Well, he's getting sued, so I guess he'd be the defendant. No, he was suing, so he would be the plaintiff. So the defendant lawyer was like, how many lawsuits have you been involved in? And this Corey Good guy's in there. He goes like, I don't think any. I've never been involved in a lawsuit. By the time you get to the end of the 6 hours, this man has been involved in like 12 lawsuits in his life. It was like crazy it was crazy. Then he like invested a lot of money into like a hemp farm that was growing illegal weed in Texas. And then he was like, I didn't know anything about it. It's like, okay. It wasn't true. Oh no. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the truth is important. Someone once said, it might have been Jesse Lee Peterson, I don't know, but he said truth is love. When someone's actually telling you the truth, and no matter how hard it is, that's actual love. Someone lying to you to make you feel better, that's not love. It might feel like it, but that's just like ego. That's just like what you want to feel. Truth is really important. That's why I love Steve. Steve really, he digs for the truth. And happy Friday doesn't start until after work. That's true. Tammy said doesn't know anything about it. Oh, the secret space program was like a whole thing. And anyway, what came out in that deposition was that it was he had copyrighted it to be an IP, and he was trying to sell his story to like some movie studio to make it a movie. So he kept referring to what he alleges was a true story. He kept referring to it as an IP, an intellectual property, and not the truth. So when like the lawyer asked him, like, have you ever been to the moon? And he's like, I don't really know what you mean. He's like, have you ever physically been to the moon, like you said? And he was just like, not physically. Okay, so you never been to the moon. It was really funny stuff. And like Steve had a really good funny group. Hey, what's going on, Walter? I missed you up there. What's going on, man? You have to be open to all sides of the topic to avoid being fooled. Exactly. Amy True, what's going on? Last night about her experiences. And you still need to send me that link to your Bigfoot Society interview. I'd really like to listen to that. Shout out to Jeremiah Bryan. He's awesome. What's going on? I'm coming up on 30 minutes. This is cool. It's after work, and I just picked up my rum ration. Nice. So the rum is not gone. We have the rum. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Anybody have any questions? For people just so we're buffering. There's some trees around, so I'm going to clear out of the way out of there, and I'm going to do a storm stream tonight. So I think the storm's supposed to be coming in around 8 or 9 p.m. I'll get someplace nice and safe where I can start this truck up and get power running, and we're going to do a stream. It's going to be a storm stream, not exactly cryptid, so I understand if you don't show up for it, that's fine. But I do like doing the storm streams, and like I said, this bus is inspired heavily by Dusty and his barn burner school bus. So I whenever there's a storm, I do kind of I just feel like I should be doing something with it. You know what I mean? What's going on? Yeah, everyone wants to see Tuna. Tuna's still up here. Let's go. We got a big crowd here. Let's go ahead and get Tuna up here. Tuna. Tuna sleeping up in the bus. She keeps trying to get out of there, and I told her, you got to stop. I can't. She can crawl out. Let me pan you around real fast. She can crawl out of the window that much cracked, and I was shocked at it. And then she tries to do it, and I finally had to have a conversation with her. I was just like, hey, it's going to get 90 today. I have to leave these windows open. You have to stop. Ogata's down here too. I don't want to leave him out. Look at that swirl. Look at that hurricane swirl. Petty. Oh, look at that stretch. Look at that stretch. That was great. Old Ogata. A champ. He's huge. Wow, dude. You're like 4 feet long. How does that work? Tuna is an escape artist. Yeah, I was out there and in the Monster on Morris Mountain documentary, what initiated all of this was an audio recording taken by an anonymous person named Kyle, he's censored and all that. He came out to visit me. We were hanging out, and he was set up behind the bus, and I was just out there chilling with him around a fire, and the windows were cracked like just how I showed you, like girl, and we watched her like worm her way out, like she's plopped on the ground and just came over to see me. Big stretch him. Oh, I got to be stretching. Cinnamon roll cat, yeah. What's going on, Rhythm PC? Good to see you here. So yeah, expect a stream tonight. That's almost a guarantee. I can't imagine what would stop me from doing it. But that's gonna be a storm stream. Probably not a whole lot of paranormal activity going on. But if you guys want to watch a storm from the bus, which I think is fun, I enjoy taking storms in this because when the winds start whipping, if you get like a 60-mile-an-hour gust, and it's hitting the side of the bus, it tilts. It's like, and then if it's like a good steady gust, like it has to come back over, and then when it does shift over, it feels like you're in like I literally feel like I'm in Star Trek. I'm just in there like whoa, and things are shaking and moving. It's kind of fun. I like it a lot. What's going on? Anybody got any news? Anybody had any weird experiences lately before I go? I like to actually hear from chat, like if you guys had anything recently weird happen. I don't care what it is. Ghosts, UFOs, goat squatch, whatever you got. I don't want to take off quite yet. I'm actually kind of, like I said, I get very limited amount of hours and sun to actually stream without having to crank things on. And this is it. So maybe I'll just hang on in here. But if you're just showing up, I was just telling everybody the update is that the audio that we kind of suspected was coyotes. It actually looks very similar in many ways to the Ohio hell. So we're going to be further, Scribe Becca's going to be doing further analyzation on that. And we're going to see if it was in fact coyotes. Because there was a few little notes and tones in there that didn't sound coyote to me, but we'll see where it goes. But I was definitely shocked when Scribe sent me the Ohio hell spectrogram. Like I was actually shocked and how similar it was. Down to like it's almost exactly the same hertz. I mean, maybe within like 25 hertz of range. So Garden and Dragon, good to see you. I was actually rewatching. For some reason, I think it's fixed now. All my old streams were not having comments available for them. So I've been but I don't know. When I put it on, I just kind of clicked randomly on the timeline, and I was talking to you. You're in my head this morning when I was going over some YouTube stuff. Mulvey Motorsports, what's going on? You had a cool reel up yesterday. I watched it on Instagram. Shop just full of motorcycles, and then the shop's looking good. I missed it. I was like, man, I miss being parked out there. I definitely missed the outside shower. That's a big one. I'm kind of getting tired of these like little baths I'm taking out here. And Mickey Richards said I had tapping on my. Do you live in like rural kind of countryside? I like to hear more about that. Tapping is very weird. The MK Hill. Oh man, that'd be awesome. I would call it the URE. I was kind of shocked after the Morris Mountain doc that that audio wasn't a bigger deal. Do you guys ever think that, like, whenever you're watching, it doesn't have to be Hellbent Holler, but any other content creators, when they capture something, why, like, what takes a piece of evidence or a piece of audio or video? What does, like, amplify it to the masses? Because to me, it's like that URE stuff they captured why is that not talked about more? Like they recorded something that sounded crazy. They followed it via vehicle, caught up to it miles away, and captured the same hell. Like, why is that not talked about? Like, I don't know. Isn't that weird? Oh, what's Scribe? Is Scribe about to let out? I'm about to lose signal, so I'll catch you later for the next stream. Right on. Hey, thanks for everything you do. We got to do a show again soon. We got to. The masses are demanding it. I had tapping on my window at 3 a.m. 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks steady. That's interesting. I was telling Tanner I miss having Godzilla B-movie review talks. We should start. You should start. You got a YouTube channel. Let me share that too while I'm up here. We do a little bit of. Oh wait, What am I doing? MLB Motorsports. Let me show you. He does little like tutorial videos. He does flying videos. He's a pilot. Everybody give MLB Motorsports a sub, because it's an interesting channel. Very interesting. He flies up to a place called the Pick and Pig in Carthage, North Carolina. He flies there, and it's a barbecue place that's right on the tarmac. Like, it's right. It's like right on. You can watch planes land in front of you. Pop that on real fast. Oh, no, wrong one. Okay. So many tabs open. Everyone give MLB Motorsports a subscribe. He's also on Instagram, right? It's under the same one too, MLB Motorsports, I believe. Hell yeah, the MK and Scribe show. I'm down. I had so much fun yesterday doing that. I think I rewatched the helicopter encounter, or whatever it was, the crash encounter at I did do a spot on Matt Moneymaker. I mean, it's 1 for 1. It's 1 for 1. 3 weeks ago, yes, and a very rare. That's interesting, because that's what those are the stories that actually like really freak me out, is whenever I'm listening to like Sasquatch Chronicles or something like that. And like, it's the simple stuff. It's not like Bigfoot attacked my truck and we got into a firefight. Those ones are always like, okay, I'd take that with a grain of salt. But like when someone's talking about being a kid and they see like a giant face in the window, or something tapping on the window, or something calling, like there was that one. It's a famous Sasquatch Chronicles, and there was an older couple that lived in the woods, and they had these little Chihuahua kind of dogs, and one of them was called, maybe it was just one, but they had a dog called Peanut, and they would call Peanut in at night. So they'd be like out in the front porch going, Peanut, Peanut, and then Peanut would run in, and then who was relaying that story was a cop that worked. It was like the local cop, and they were calling in for trespassers. Somebody was messing around with their barn, going around their house, knocking on the house, tapping on the windows, stuff like that. And then one night when they were, I think they had already called the dog in, and they were just kind of hanging around in the house. And one of them walked out on the porch, and they heard something in the woods going like, Peanut, Peanut, like trying to call the dog. That gives me, right now, I got chills up my spine. That's terrifying. That's like that's scary. That's scary. That's terrifying. Like that time the crawlers came through the portal next to the silos, I pushed them back with bear mace. Oh, dang. MLB Motorsports taking shots. Shots fired. You know what the thing is, though? One day I'm going to be in the woods, a portal's going to open up, and 3 crawlers are going to come out. I'm going to have to bear mace them. And then I'm going to look like an asshole. I mean, I already do, but I'm going to look like a bigger one. I'm like, oh, crap. The thing was, like, what's funny about that is, like, I would be, if that happened to me in real life, I've seen a lot of crazy shit in my life. I've been to a lot of terrible places. I've seen a lot of terrible stuff. I'm telling you, if that happened to me, I'd be like traumatized. You know what I mean? I'd be like really messed up for a while after that. Not recording it. Well, no, there was a temps that recorded. You remember? There was a temps in it. Yeah, but like I feel bad for MLB Motorsports. He had to go like listen to like, I was just in my bus just watching Bigfoot content, and then he has to hear all this crazy stories, man. Now, wait, you're a pilot. Have you ever seen a UFO like in the air? I never thought to ask you that, but yeah, have you ever seen like a UFO? Like, it doesn't have to be like you don't have to think it's an alien or anything, but have you ever seen while you're up there flying? Like, did you ever see anything and all that you couldn't explain? He also, I want to do a Thunderbird documentary. As soon as I figured out this editing stuff, which I'm still cracking my head over, trying to figure out. There was a, but I was talking about like how the Thunderbird's lore is that it always either comes before or after a thunderstorm, but that's the name Thunderbird. Like if you hear thunder, that brings on the Thunderbird. And him being a pilot, he explained to me how like you can't fly like in a thunderstorm. It's just too turbulent, and like he flies like a Cessna, like a small Cessna, and like he said, like you have to stay like 20 miles away from these storms, otherwise, like it would just you could get hit with a piece of wind, like some wind, and like just completely destroy your plane. So like that kind of was like, well, then with the Thunderbird lore, like how does that work? Because my original intention was to kind of watch for thunderstorms in an area known for Thunderbird activity, and just see if there's like see if you can capture something coming before or after the storm. And I was ambitious and thinking like, can I get in a plane? Can I meet a pilot and then like can we fly around a storm and look for this thing? And I guess that's really dangerous. And I guess it's not good to do. Molly Motorsport said I did almost hit a drone once over Parkton. Whoa, really? That's got to be coming at you because you're doing like over 100, right? Like so that's got to be just that would be freaky, man. On the audio joke, apparently one needs Matt Moneymaker's blessing on if the audio is valid online. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what constitutes? Because to me, that is odd that like they capture that amazing audio with like the best equipment, and like to me, it's better than the Ohio Hell. It's better than a lot of the audio recordings I've heard. I mean, I put it literally like up there around the Sierra sounds, maybe like top two or three. And yeah, it's like no one wants to talk about it. There's 100 Bigfoot live streams going on a week, and like no one wants to talk about this. It's just strange. Makes you wonder, like, what is the machinery behind? Like, I'm new to all this in terms of being like a content producer, but like, what is what is the machine behind? I don't know what the machine is. What's the wizard behind the curtain? You know what I mean? Who's that dude? Scorpio said Thunderbirds probably need the lift from updrafts near storms to conserve its own energy for flight. And that was something that I was questioning him about too, was like, because what I saw and what a lot of people in their accounts even state is that, and I saw it too, was they don't flap their wings a lot. And it's specifically the people see them kind of flap 3 times. And then that's enough to kind of give them enough boost to get out of a place, which is odd because like that than that for something that size. So that's kind of that is the thinking there, is that are they using the storms updrafts to like fly? But then what Mulvey Motorsports was talking about was it's unpredictable, like as far as like you could get hit with a downdraft right after getting hit with an updraft, and then it literally could break, like if you're an animal, it would break your wings, in theory. So it's definitely strange. That's why. And then I was saying in another stream too about how like I always keep up with the Thunderbird reports. There's a non-flesh and blood aspect to it too. People have reported seeing them and then they kind of vanish, like right in front of them. They just vanish. There was another person who saw one and it took off, and then as it's flying away, it turned into like translucent, like almost like the Predator. Like it turned translucent and then kind of disappeared. So is it just something that exists in between the worlds, and it comes through every once in a while? Things to think about. Things to think about. Oh, what does Sherry say? I've experienced nails raked across the bedroom wall, cutting across the back of my head to the end of the wall. Slow, dragging, deliberate, scary. Whoa, that is nightmare fuel. Was that like a? Would you say that was like a? Did that constitute as a poltergeist, right? Because it's physically it's physically hurting you, or I guess maybe even demonic. Yep, it is strange. Yeah. Based on what caliber is used in most grizzly attacks, when I look at the data for Bigfoot, the top caliber for Ape Canyon on up is ironically 30-30. Go figure. 30-30. I mean, they always said 30-30 is probably the 30-30 round has killed more deer than any other round on planet Earth. It's a solid go-to round. So that doesn't surprise me that in the Ape Canyon situation they had 30-30. I would assume that was probably the most popular common use round back then. There was stuff leaves my head so fast. I just watched that Small Town Monsters documentary on Ape Canyon, and they actually talked about the weapons, and I think one of the grandsons maybe still had one of the right. I got to rewatch that again. Like I said, things just leave my brain. Mickey Richards 30-30 is a pea shooter. You know, that's kind of why the fact that it's killed more deer than anything is kind of interesting, because you know, it's not perceived as like a great super round or nothing like that, you know. But it's one of those dependable, reliable, and at the time, nothing's cheap now, but like at the time, it would have just been like a common round that was used, sort of that example. Shade Viking, good to see you, man. Good to see you. What was that? It happened after my first visit to an old cemetery. Masonic symbols. Masonic symbols. Is Dark Florida still in chat? Dark Florida went to I don't know if it was. I don't think it was a specific Bigfoot conference. I think it was like a cryptid and paranormal conference. And it was held in. It was the Charlie's Believe It or Not conference in Florida, but they held it in an old Masonic lodge, and she said right away they had like bad vibes in the place and all that, and like all the Masonic stuff was still there. I don't think I could ever be a Mason. I'd probably do that. I'll go to that Moose Lodge. I'll be a Moose Lodger. Chris Baylock Expeditions. Listen while at work. I hope you got a bright weekend coming ahead of you. Hope work goes smooth for you. I was on the let me share this too while we're doing it. I was on the Bigfoot, Wild Man, and Boogers podcast just a couple weeks ago. Let me share that if you haven't caught that. I had a blast doing that interview. That was one of the funnest I've ever had. Let me find it real fast. Bigfoot, Booger podcast. There it is. Let me share that real quick. Subscribe to that too. It's a good little interview show. I like a nice tight hour-long interview. I don't like these like 3-hour talks. I've literally watched some shows where it goes on for 3 hours and someone's like, they're literally like an hour in, they're just like, well, you have anything else you want to talk about? And then it keeps going. It doesn't stop. And it's like, wait a minute, are we done or what? Let me share that in the chat. Not to be too critical on people. I guess I'm an asshole. What can I say? Yeah, this is my interview with the on Bigfoot, Wild Man, and Booger podcast. I had a blast doing it. I did it while I was coming back from the LBL. I think I was in a hotel, I think in Kingsport, Tennessee, when I did it, and I was all jacked up on energy drinks and coffee. But I had a blast in the interview, and I got to come back. We didn't even talk about the bus. We didn't even get to that point yet. So I have to come back on and talk about that. I saw that you and Marianne. Yeah, Marianne, she's a wonderful woman. She was really nice and a great interviewer. I just had the time of my life doing that. Considering like everything that was going on in that day, that was like the brightest part of my day. Everything prior to that was just 8 hours of me driving. And then missing my friends already. As soon as I left the LBL, I missed everybody there. I missed Surviving the Strange. I missed Jesse and Joe. Like I was immediately like, oh, it's over. Till next time. What's going on, Hawk? What's going on, Hawk? I want to join the Water Buffalo Lodge with Fred and Barney. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What happened to lodge? What happened to like just lodges? I mean, they're still out there, I guess. The Moose Lodge, but every Moose Lodge I go by, looking pretty rough. And I don't know, maybe their membership's down or what. I don't want to speak ill on them. Amy, sure you're leaving. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. I'll be I'll be streaming tonight for stream because I have to get out of the woods and take shelter. Chris Baylock says I'm headed to the LBL in a couple of weeks, but be safe out there and have fun. And hopefully no one calls like the Forest Service on you claiming that you're gonna light the place on fire. Shade Viking, ghosts are all goblins, man. Are all goblins, man. Interesting. I need to go on a ghost hunt. I think that's going to be my next, maybe not my next thing, but I really want to do ghost hunting. I haven't done that in years and years and years. Last time I did, I was probably like like 17 or 16 going out to a cemetery, just walking around with an old camcorder. Oh, good to see you on my YouTube live stream. Right on, right on. Mulvey Motorsports is gobbling these nuts. Whoa! I like Mulvey Motorsports in chat because he's not in any of this. He built the bus. You know what I mean? Oh, I like an outside perspective to all this. Got to have the permission from the gatekeepers to visit the Abbey. I got so many stories I can't tell because it's not my place to tell. I got so many to tell. One day I'm gonna lay it all out because I was that whole week I was fine there. Like I was, because you're just rolling with it. You know, we're literally filming 10, 12 hours a day. We're out walking around the woods. Normal hours. We're getting up and we're staying out till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's fine. It was the drive back. The drive back is where you get to like stew in your own thoughts and go like, man, I really hate some of these people. Not for real. I'm okay now. But it's just like, oh man, I have so many stories to tell about that, and some shocking stuff too. I've like stuff that you wouldn't. It's not all the same. It's not all the usual suspects. There was a few other people out there that were not the usual suspects, and yeah, it's something. They have not approached me one. They have not one time, and I go quite often. You know what? There's another thing. I mean, it's who they pick and choose from. You know what I mean? It's just like if you know, how do I say it? It's like I think like the quality of work that like I don't know how do I say this. It's like I'm not sure what it is that like they decide who is okay and who's not. So it's just kind of like it leaves a lot of questions in your head. Like, well, why? Number one, why do they even care? I've said this 100 times. I'm in the URIs now. I invite everyone to come to the URIs and look for Bigfoot. I have no issue with that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm an easy guy to talk to. These aren't my forest. You know what I mean? Like it's public lands. It's all of y'all's forest. And I just don't understand that mindset that some people have that goes like, this is my spot. Like it's not. It's not your spot. Like it's everyone's spot. We can all come here. And like people should be more supportive of people going out doing this. Like I don't understand that. And Albial is the I think the offshoot. Everywhere else I've ever been, I never had any issues. When we did the Sumter documentary, no issues there. Actually, wait, asterisk on that. There was a little thing, but not big. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is because it just doesn't. To me, this doesn't make sense. Some of the mindsets that people have, because I had an issue with someone out here one time, and we talked it out, and we're fine now. But it very much similar mindset, and then I had to lay it out like to them, going like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like people coming out and doing research, whether they find something or not, it's all good. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's me. Monster Morris Mountain was a documentary. The Bigfoot out here, shouldn't you be against? It doesn't make any sense to diss somebody's work in an area where you do work, and then you got to claim they claim their stuff's legit, and then with no proof they go like, well, your stuff's not legit. It's like, why? We're in the same spot. What is the difference here going on? And a lot of it, there's definitely an element of jealousy, definitely an element of ego, but it's like, again, if you just embrace what other people are bringing to this, what's the issue? It's all good, you know? Around here, it's cold 3/4 of the year. I'm done with the North. I'll trade you, man. I'll be honest with you. I'll trade you. I'm from the North. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. And I was a kid when we moved. So I enjoyed like winter, like because I didn't have to shovel snow. You know what I mean? Like, I was a kid. I got to go play in the snow. And like, so when I moved down to the South, I grew up in the heat, and then I never liked I don't like the heat. I would kill for the snow. But now as an adult though, if I did move up north, I had to deal with snow, I would hate shoveling snow. Like I probably would not like it. So it's one of those give and takes. I think people should migrate. Like every 10 years, I think people should just like switch spots. It might be because they're getting crowded with investigators. Well, you know, and that was the other thing too, particularly like with the LBL stuff. We only spent of the whole week, we spent maybe 3 days in spots that everyone kind of sees. Everywhere else we went, the first I saw, it's like 150,000 acres or something like that. All the rest of the week, we were in different spots no one ever goes to. There's plenty of room to do investigation. And in fact, some of the spots where no one goes to, maybe that's where the weird stuff's at. Like, and that's, I can't say too much, but like maybe that's what we were doing. What else is going on? Flash and Magic says, agreed. Yeah, and now in a place like you are, though, I mean, this is 50,000 acres. It's one of the small national forests. It's also one of the fastest growing national forests per size capita or whatever. But out here, this is a small forest, but still there's plenty of room. And yeah, just come out here and look for Bigfoot if you want. We don't know where it's at, so it could be anywhere. You have the entire forest open to you to go look for it. There's a spot when we were traveling, we drove all over the LBL. And there's one area that I was like, I've never seen it before. I mean, most of these places I've never seen before in any videos, but like there was a spot where I'm like, why isn't this place like, you couldn't even see where anybody's ever come out there. Like there's no evidence of people being out there. So it's like, I don't know, like in my head, I know a spot in the LBL that I would like to take this bus because no one goes there. So I have no interest in going to like the alleged massacre site. What's the other place people always talk about? I don't know, there's like 2 or 3 of them. Like I really don't have any interest in those places, but like there's other spots that I'm driving around where I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's a cool spot. Oh, did I miss something? Malby Motorsports flipping out. It was a straight up poltergeist. We got pictures with orbs and all that. And Dad said books used to fly off the shelf. You about that house that I don't believe in ghosts. My parents said when I was a kid, I talked to a ghost child that haunted our house. Your brother told me about this years ago. At least like stuff that he had happened. Am I misremembering it? Something about a ghost cat. But I've actually your brother told me about this. Your brother told me a weird story too about when he was hunting. I don't know if I should. Well, I guess we don't know who it is, but no, I'll leave that for if he wants to tell it. He can tell it. I'm not gonna. It was a really freaky story though. It was very interesting. Find the total boonies where nobody has. Shea Biking's a good idea. MK find the total. Yeah, exactly. We don't know where these things are at. We know where things are active at, but we don't actually know like where do they spend the rest of their time at. We don't know. 90% of the people only go to 10% of national forest, and that's probably even high on that. I bet you could probably safely say 95%, and only 5% go to the only people gather like the 5% of spots. Like out here, there's so many little tuck away little corners out here, and it's, like I said, small forest, 50,000 acres, nothing too crazy. So in a place like LBL, which I think is 150,000 or 170, I forget. The only reason I know the number is because that was how much we were threatening to burn down, apparently. But like it's huge. There's so many spots to go out there. We drove down so many random dirt roads where I'm like, oh, interesting spot. That'd be a good spot to get audio. That'd be a good spot to get thermal down through here. And I was shocked that like people aren't doing this. People aren't looking for these spots. The Yeti kitty. There was a UFC. I know this isn't what you're talking about, but what popped in my head was there was a Russian UFC fighter or something like that who went on into the Himalayas. I guess just like doing some recreation, but he saw a Yeti, and a bunch of other people saw a Yeti. And what he described was actually more like a combination between a large cat and primate. Like he said, it really moved like a cat. Is what he witnessed. That was on. That might have been something on the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm gonna dip out. Cryptid Castleberry. I'm gonna dip out and spending a few days in the hospital for weirdness. I'll see what happens. Are you? Hey, good luck to your venture, man. Hopefully you get something on film or on audio. Be safe. Yeti kitty. Yeah. Sounds like a story I want to hear. Yeah, I gotta find that. I want to say it was on the Joe Rogan Experience, but it was some guy talking about how like it was late at night and they saw something kind of rummaging by a tent or something like that, and when they put lights on it, it was like one of the guides there was like, that's the Yeti after the fact. He was like, yeah, that's what a Yeti is. And he described it very much like a more feline, more of a combination between feline and like a Bigfoot sort of thing. Tammy says no one knows what's out there. I mean, people walk by things every day and don't realize they've seen it. People don't know what to look for. They'll walk right past it. I had a really weird incident one time. Like once I started getting more convinced that Bigfoot was real, I started looking back on little strange things that has happened to me in the woods before, like when I wasn't thinking about it at all. And I've had at least 3 times in perfectly non-windy days in the middle. Most of them were on the Appalachian Trail, at least 2 of them were. And it was nice, sunny, no wind. And then for no reason, a tree just falls over, like within earshot. That's odd, but you sum it up to like, okay, well, I guess I just happened to be in a spot when a tree just decided that it was rotten enough to fall over. And another incident I had was, it was on the Appalachian Trail again. I was near Black, Virginia, and I was working my way to get to a hostel. I don't remember the hostel's names, but there was a hostel that you have to zip line across a little river for. And it's not really a hostel. It's like a place where a guy just lets you kind of camp out in his yard, and he's got some vending machines under like an awning, and which is a super nice deal. Trust me, like for free. I mean, obviously the vending machine costs money, but like he just lets you stay in his yard. How cool is that? And you get to get on a little zip line to get across this river. I was either going to that spot or it was right after I left that spot. In fact, no, I'll tell you, it was after I left that spot because I got new shoes at the Walmart in town. And I went up to the mountain and I was frustrated about something. So I went for a walk at night, and I was coming down this, I was coming back down south on the Appalachian Trail, just kind of walking down this hillside. And I heard an owl, like, do a little like, woo, woo. Then I heard another one on the other side of me go, woo, woo. And then as I'm walking, like it didn't stop. Like it didn't stop for a long way. I just kept hearing these like, woo, woo. And they're right near me. And then it wasn't until after I kind of started looking back into Bigfoot, I thought about that moment again. I looked up something like, do owls travel in like groups and hoot at people? Apparently they don't. So I can't say what that was, but it was definitely like a strange thing that I looked back on later and went, oh, that is super weird. Molly Motorsport said the Yeti kitty story goes, Tanner was getting out of a tree stand and felt something stalking him. And as he started the ATV, a roughly 40-pound black and white cat started chasing him out of the woods. Whoa. Okay, because the other story he told me, and by the way, Tanner doesn't like believe in any of this stuff. I don't think. Like he's very not that he's closed-minded, but I think he's had experiences and stuff like that. I think we all kind of had weird things. He told me a story. The first time he ever went hunting, his grandfather took him, and it was in Scotland County, and they were sitting in their blind, and then it was like morning time, like the sun's coming up, the time you hunt, and this is the first deer you ever shot. Some deers come out of the wood line. They kind of let him come in, get comfortable, and then he took a shot and dropped this deer, and it's in a field, and just his grandfather told him, okay, you'll just chill for a minute, maybe we'll come out and we'll get another one. And they waited like, I forget how long, but like, a moment, like 15, 20 minutes. And nothing else came out. So they went out of the blind to go pick up this deer he shot. And you can see where it dropped. You can see like the blood, like the pool of blood, deer gone. No blood dripping away from it. No, nothing. It was just missing. It was just gone. He never told me about the Yeti kitty. That's a wild story. I gotta catch up with chat real quick. Thank you, MP. Gotta go for now. Be safe. Looking forward to your live later. All right, Gardening Dragon. Be safe. Tammy says, off the wall example, if you're in the ocean, it's so deep, but you don't know what's at the bottom. So in the dark abyss, what's in there same with our forests that are huge. Interesting. There are so many places in the forest, like Alaska, like how big that is. There are so many places for things to hide and you don't see them. You don't know they're there. I'm fascinated by the obviously Bigfoot in Alaska, but I haven't listened to him in a minute, but I need to. I listen to a lot of that, like Alaska, what are they called? Giants, but they have a name for it, mountain giants. I'm fascinated by those stories because obviously you get those pictures from Alaska where it's like a tree trunk stuck into the ground unexplainably, like upside down. Um, like if there is like that's the only place that I can think. Maybe there's a few places in the desert, but it'd be really hard to live there. But like in Alaska, like you could have like a 30-foot tall, 40-foot tall giant walking around, and that is a place that it could hide. I'm fascinated also when they did an expedition up there in the 50s. One of the people claimed that they saw, I think it was like a 20-foot tall wolf, like just walking by, which is like huge. It's so giant. It's hard to like wrap your mind around, but then it's also like that was on the American expedition of the Columbia Plateau in 19. There's a documentary about it. A bunch of not like huge scientists, but a lot of like high school scientists and stuff like that. They built a school bus, oddly enough, to take up there, and then you have to hike in. You gotta go down a boat. It's like just getting to this spot is like a 3-week adventure that involves all kind of equipment. And they said they saw all kinds of crazy stuff, including stuff that's like man-made. They saw Russian MiGs doing maneuvers through the canyons up there in Canada. Hey, Hal Ben Holler, what's going on? Surprised to see you there. We're just going to give a quick update on everything. And I'm going to be streaming tonight, doing a storm stream, so not really a Bigfoot stream. I got followed by... Oh, wait, I missed something from... I'm going to get back to that 1 second. The Yeti Kitty story goes... okay, yeah, we talked about that one. Oh, yeah, we got that one. What else can we see? Okay. From Hawks, I got followed by the sound of katydids in the 20s. We all know that no bug is out in those temps. Wait, what's a katydid? Explain that to me. I'm curious now. A katydid. The Fred Rehole story is crazy from Alaska. I might have heard that one. Was that the boat captain guy that was going upriver? And he saw a Sasquatch fighting a grizzly bear or get into a confrontation with one? The thing about like Alaska is like it's so large. Like if you're going to see a Bigfoot fight a grizzly, that's where you're going to see it at. You know what I mean? KD did. Is that how you say it? Let me go back to Hawk. Katie did. I'm lost. Guys, spell it out for me real fast. And he literally spells it out. Oh, wow, we've already been going for more than an hour. Wow, I was literally thinking it was going to be like a 20-minute little thing, but I'm cool. Let me check power real fast. Let me see what I'm feeding. This is good because it's distracting me from the heat that I'm going to be dealing with here very soon. That's a crazy thing. I'm sorry. I'm losing track here. I'm going to check power real fast. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where... Tuna just made a crazy noise up there. Tuna, you dreaming? You dreaming, Tuna? There. Let me show you this. I'm on. Oh, this is like the worst thing for showing. I'm at 81%. Oh, I have to reverse this thing. Okay. Anyway. Hellbent Joe. Wait a minute. Which Hellbents are which? We got too many Hellbents going on. So I guess Hellbent Joe is Joe. Then Hellbent Holler is Jesse. What's going on here? Oh yeah, it says right here. Okay, my bad. MK needs a Camino. Oh, like one of those Asian things? Rock that. I would totally rock that. Express, little Pineapple Express reference there. Someone write a script for a Bigfoot versus Grizzly movie that exists, right? That's a thing because there's some movie that shows it. There's a guy fighting a Bigfoot in a Bigfoot suit, a grizzly, and there was like a conspiracy going around the internet that was real footage because it looks pretty decent. I don't remember what it's from and all. A katydid. Hold on, let's bring it up. A katydid is a type of grasshopper. Interesting. That's really weird. So that's weird. Kind of make. Were you thinking that was Hawk, right? That brought that up. Were you thinking that that was a some sort of like shapeshifter, like an anamorph situation? Which is what's this an anamorph situation that we're dealing with here? Chemo no. What the hell is going on here? Chemo no. What is going on here? Detective work. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Those too many people fucking whatever. I don't know. I can't pronunciate well. Well, I'm gonna jump off of here. Thanks for everyone for showing up. Another banger of a stream, I think. And as soon as Scribe does a little bit more analyzation of that audio, we'll come back with a more definitive update on what that audio was. To me, it kind of blew my mind when I looked at that Ohio Hell. Oh, wait a minute. Well, Hellbent Haller's here. Don't go anywhere. I brought up something earlier. I don't know if you were listening. What makes a piece of evidence, like why... I was telling them, like, the Uwari stuff that you captured, particularly at the end there, why is that not talked about at all? Has anyone ever approached you to, like, analyze that evidence or talk about it or, like, anything, like, specifically about that evidence? Like, the same way that people talk about, like, the Sierra sounds or anything like that. Like, did anybody ever ask to, like, see the raw data from it or anything? Or is it just completely, like, is it just, like, because it's not approved by Matt Moneymaker? Like, it's not like, like, I don't understand what the rules are here. I don't understand. Then I'll go. But yeah, to me, it's like, I don't know why that, I was literally talking to Joe about this today. Yeah, it seems odd. It seems like that's just a great piece of evidence. And there's like video showing the travel time and everything. Like, it just seems like that would be talked about. Even if they're not bringing you up to actually talk about it, it's like, why isn't nobody else looking at that evidence? Because to me, it's up there like behind Sierra Sounds, and to me, it's even higher than the Ohio Hells, because like there's a lot more going into it. So it's like the number 2, in my opinion, best audio ever captured. And Tammy wants you to hit her up in the Discord today. And Malby Motorsports says, ask Patty. And you a pick. What am I sending a pic of on Discord? Oh, I guess I'll find out right now. Oh, yeah, that's like your classic kind of grasshopper, very leafy looking grasshopper. Cool. That's very odd to be followed by that in the wintertime. Okay, we're losing Starlink. Okay. I'm suppressed by corporate Bigfoot machine. Seriously? Like, seriously? Like, where's Matt Moneymaker on his take on that? Like, what a lazy guy. Okay. Anyway, have a great day. Everyone, go ahead, finish off your Fridays, get off of work, have something refreshing to drink, and everyone relax. And join me tonight as we watch a thunderstorm from a parking lot somewhere. All right, guys. Later. No, I'm not doing that. You don't want to see what kind of tabs I have open, Mulvey. Do I have a